Good morning. Good morning. We are live.
Good morning. Hi, everyone. Morning, Han.
Nice to see you.
How are you doing? Can you hear the seagulls in the background?
We can.
So welcome along. I am Sarah and this is my lovely sister Hannah. So for some of you, you have seen our faces already over in the Holistic Health Collective, which is our Facebook and Instagram community. And I believe we are live streaming on YouTube this morning. So hello for any newbies and welcome along. So just to let you know what this is all about, this video is here to help people that are suffering from anxiety or feeling, these unexpected feelings that might be new to them, which you can put down to nervousness or unrest and discomfort in the body. But this umbrella term of anxiety is what we're going to use today, and we are here to help you. So we're going to talk about why you might be feeling anxious and why you might be stuck in those feelings. So we'll do a little introduction of who we are. So I'm Sarah King. I am the founder of Balanced Body Wellness, which is my wellness company. I'm a yoga teacher and a breathing coach and a holistic healer. And which way is the camera? This is Hannah. This is my sister. She's founder of the Nourished Body. She's a naturopathic nutritionist. She helps so many women with their energy and with lots of, well, I'll let you go into that in a minute, lots of problems with their health. And she is also a yoga teacher. And together we have an online wellness membership called the Holistic Health Circle. So we're really here because we've been working, on our own anxiety and our own health issues in a holistic way. So we've managed to heal ourselves and to a state of balance, and balance, can be a state of flux as well. But we are here using all of our wisdom and knowledge that we have personally managed to bring ourselves to a state of balance. But for the last year, really since, the first lockdown, we tapped into what women were needing on a deeper level. And, this global pandemic that we were dealing with, people were really suffering from anxiety more than ever. So we created the Holistic Health Circle, which is an online wellness membership, and we use 5 natural tools to move women from anxiety into alignment with their greatest self. And so that's why we want to share this with you today. So I mentioned 5 tools. We're going to speak a little bit about some of them today, and I'm going to hand you over to the expert this way, nutritionist Hannah, and you're going to give us a little bit of advice.
Loved all that. Thank you so much, Sarah. You just get me all excited and pumped up. That's so cool. Yes, we've been running the Holistic Health Circle for a year. It's going amazing. We've got these 5 holistic tools, as Sarah mentioned. But sometimes when we first start working with women who are suffering the symptoms of anxiety, they still don't know where to start. Even when you've got 5 wonderful tools, it's just tell me, where's number 1? Where do I need to start in the first place? And so actually what we've been working on in the last month or so, we've been putting a lot of our energy into actually creating a very short course with only 3 of the 5 tools of start here, then go here, and then go here. So it's an exact roadmap of what you need to do if you are suffering from anxiety symptoms. So we want to talk about, if you have got anxiety, why might it be hanging around? I'm going to give you, there's lots of reasons, but we're going to go through the top 3 today. So the first one that I'd like to talk about is being a nutritionist, naturopathic nutritionist. Love to talk about food. It's that you're not eating in the right way to support your body and mind. So let's talk about some of the things that you might be eating that might be keeping you stuck. This was a big one for both of us. I think I've got that right when I say both of us, Sarah. Definitely. Coffee.
Love the taste of coffee. Coffee's so good.
If you're watching this live, or by the way, if you're on replay, hello to you too. Give us a hashtag replay in the comments. Are you a coffee lover? I remember when I first started working with a nutritionist, and I was like, don't make me give up coffee. And I said, it's not because it gives me energy. That's not why. I was like, this is denial, right? It's because I love the smell of it. I love the taste of it. I love the ritual of going to buy it. I love the fact
Shop culture is so, oh, I miss it.
We have missed it, haven't we? I love the fact that it's a ritual. I love the fact that I get to slow down. I love the fact that I can pretend that I'm not a busy mum just for that couple of minutes while I'm enjoying that drink. But in all seriousness, coffee is a massive stimulant for the nervous system. There are some benefits to coffee if you're not adding loads of dairy and you're not adding loads of sugar, and it's filtered and it's organic. There are lots of antioxidants in coffee. It can help boost performance, and it can really help with mental clarity for a few hours following a coffee. But it also overstimulates the nervous system. It can really affect sleep. It can give us the jitters as well. So it can kind of have our adrenaline kind of pumping too fast. I mean, that definitely happens for me now. So that is just one of the foods. You look like you want to add something to that, Sarah.
Yeah, I was going to say you're very in tune when you have your coffee. You can physically change in your physicality inside your body, can't you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that may be like one of the foods perhaps you're having that isn't supporting your body and mind. And some people do feel fine on it. Some people feel good on it. Like my husband can have a couple of coffees a day. He feels good. If I do, I feel crap. So if that's you, please tune into that and stop harming yourself if that is the case. So let's talk about a few other foods that may be keeping you stuck. That's basically it. If we want to see change, we have to be the change. If we carry on continuing living the same life, doing the same habits, same thought patterns, same foods, we're going to get the same results. So we have to change a little bit if we want to see a new result. So other foods that you might have intolerances. So it might be to gluten or dairy. I was talking to a guy on the phone last night, actually, and he was telling me he's got all these problems with his sinuses, dripping nose, blocked ears, lots of tonsillitis, almost cusping on asthma. And all of those signs are kind of, all of those symptoms are signs of an intolerance to dairy. And what that can do is it can be causing a lot of inflammation in the body as well. And so that could be keeping you stuck. Too much sugar, again, really stimulates the nervous system. So I know when you are feeling anxious that you're not really wanting to make the time to make all these lovely homemade foods. So you are kind of grabbing like maybe a quick chocolate bar or a quick cup of coffee, as we already mentioned. So all of these foods are not supporting your body and mind. And so we need to start getting some of the healing foods in. The foods that are good for the gut are also good for the mind. And we want to be getting some nutrient dense foods in that are really going to start to heal the body. We are what we eat. So that's one thing. One is that you're not eating the right food to support your body and your mind. And it can just start with one small change. It doesn't have to be coffee if that's the thing you really struggle with. It is normally the thing that you love the most, you need to give up the most. You could start with something else. So you could do what's called crowding out rather than taking things out. So rather than taking things away, you could crowd out. And what that means is you find something healthy that you like. Maybe that's a green smoothie, and you introduce that every day. So you're putting this one healthy habit in. And when you start taking on more and more healthy habits, the old stuff starts to fall away. You're creating room for the old stuff to fall away. Okay, next one may be that you're on medication, which is fine, but you believe that's your only option. So you haven't tried anything else. Maybe you've not had even the mental space to think about creating time for anything else. And medication can be really a great bridge in the short term for some people, okay? Some of our clients tell us that they feel awful on it and it just doesn't work for them at all. And I know, Sarah, I think you've had that experience. I think you can remind us in a minute. But yeah, it may be a good short-term option for you. It may not, but it doesn't have to be your only option. And relying on medication as your only option may be keeping you stuck because it's not solving the underlying cause of what is really going on, is it? So that's another reason you may be stuck. Yeah, go, Sarah.
Yeah, sorry, I was going to say exactly. It's sometimes, as Hannah said, a brilliant a bridge in the meantime, and often for many of us, it's the first thing we go to because it's just the system that we're in. Here's the problem, here's the pill to fix it. We've got to start thinking differently now. Things are changing in the world. The NHS is under incredible strain, and we've got to look at the root causes. So yeah. So just wanted to lead on, carry on with the next one.
Yeah, so the third thing that may be keeping you stuck is everything is just energy in this world, right? And even the symptoms of anxiety, it's just energy in our body. And sometimes it's a bit stuck in there. We're a bit stagnant, aren't we? Especially in lockdown, where there isn't anywhere to go. But before lockdown as well, with desk jobs, with driving to places, we're just not moving our bodies very much. And if you're really ill, if you're in pain, if you've got injuries, you may have lots of reasons why you can't exercise. But what you could start with, and Sarah can share a little bit more about this with us in a moment, is breath work. Breath work helps to move energy in the body. It's this constant exchange all the time, but we're not maximizing the potential of the breath. And so breath work is a great place to start. And then moving on from that, some kind of movement that you love. So is that dancing around the kitchen? Is that jumping on a trampoline? Is it running like, I'm trying to remember who it was from Friends. I think it was Phoebe. Is it running with the crazy run down the road? Or in our case, we love yoga. And it might be that you can only do a really gentle form of yoga of like putting your legs up against the wall, and that's perhaps enough for you. Or you may be able to do a little bit more flow, and that might feel really good for you. But what we need to do is find a way to release this energy. I was reading a book to my daughter last night, and it was a bit condescending, the book. I said to her, I don't really like this book. I'm not sure I'm going to read these to you anymore. But these young girls have been in a situation, and in the book it said she done what any young girl would do. She went to the toilet and she screamed. And I said to my daughter, why do you think she screamed? She said, to let her energy out. I was like, tell me some other ways that you can release energy. So she was saying exercise, and we were like, yeah, throw stones in water, just like dance. I mean, dancing's such a good way to release energy. So they're the 3 reasons I'm going to talk about today of why your anxiety symptoms may be hanging about. So 1 is not supporting your body and your mind with the right foods. 2 is relying only on medication. 3 is that you've got this stuck energy and you need to learn how to move it through movement. So what kind of solutions have we got, Sarah? If people wanted to dive a little bit deeper, how could we support them through some of this?
Yeah, so initially we spoke about 5 holistic tools, but as we said, sometimes 5 can be a bit overwhelming. It's like, I need one quick thing and I need it in this very instant. So we teach tools that you can use in that moment that can have an instant effect. But also, if you practice them on a regular basis, you're also going to have a long-term effect on the body to get to the point where we're at now, where if we start to feel anxious, we know what to do immediately, and we can bring ourselves back to a state of balance so that we're in control of the anxiety. The anxiety is not in control of us anymore. So this is why I call it anxiety freedom. So in this course that we've put together, this specific anxiety freedom roadmap course, we start with the breath work, and Hannah spoke about it before. So even when we're asleep, even when we're lying still and when we're not moving the body physically, we are still moving in a very subtle way, and that's with the breath. And breath is known as our life force energy. That's how we express ourselves, by being alive, by breathing. So when we're anxious, we tend to be over breathing, and we breathe up in the chest, and we breathe quite rapidly, and we might be breathing through the mouth as well. So in our course, we've put together 3 breathing techniques that you can use in the moment to calm you down, to make you feel grounded, to make you feel stable and more relaxed. This is the most important one. That we teach all of our clients across the board, isn't it? And all the work that we do, whether it's nutrition or yoga or energy healing, we start with the breath. Because if you do it with me now, and I always encourage everyone, let's just do it. Place your hands on your belly, close your eyes, and just take a slow inhale through the nose and a slow exhale through the nose. I mean, you can already feel it. It's like medicinal, isn't it? It works in that moment. It brings you back to the present. And anxiety is often over worrying about, future events or events that it's like disaster management. We've got these perceived threats. They're not real. And the mind's spiraling off. So the breath brings us straight back into the moment. But it also affects your neuroplasticity. So you're rewiring the brain, and you're telling the brain that you're safe and that you are in control. So it's affecting that vagus nerve that runs from the brain down to the gut and branches off to so many important organs. And it brings an immediate sense of of calm. So that's why the breath is so powerful. That's the number one thing that we teach. And it's a 15-minute breathwork session, but you can break it down into 5-minute sessions. So if you've only got a minute or two, you can still bring yourself back to a state of calm.
Yeah.
We've then got a yoga session. So we both teach yoga. We've both been practicing for a long time now, haven't we? And we want to break down the illusion that yoga is for flexible people that do headstands and back flips or whatever. It's not that. We live in this fast-paced world. We're overstimulated. We don't need exercise necessarily that's always going to match that level. Sometimes we need to do, like Hannah said, a calming pose, the heart's racing and beating, legs up the wall, or a shoulder stand is perfect because it drops the heart rate. It brings blood back to the heart doesn't have to pump as hard, and it's going to bring those anxiety symptoms down. So we've got a 40-minute session of very grounding yoga poses that I would say are suitable for everybody, and there's adjustments in there as well, so they're all accessible. And then beautiful thing and the exciting thing is the food. We love to eat, don't we? So when we often speak about food, people can start to think, oh no, this is going to be taken away from me. But actually, when Hannah talks about food, she introduces food that is so tasty and nutritious. It's like you're not missing out, you're actually just gaining. So do you want to speak a bit about what you put together there?
Yeah, well, what you're just sharing there is reminding me. Some of my clients have been saying recently, like, "Oh, my husband or my kids, they've been having takeaway on Friday and Saturday, and I just don't want it." I'm like, it's so amazing when you've got to that point that you're like, actually, that's not going to make me feel good. I don't want it anyway. There's so much in this course to do with nutrition. Some of the main things I'm really proud to have shared is a whole supplement protocol. So there are certain things that we need in place that can really help to calm the body down, support the mind. And so I've gone into some really trusted and good brands for you. So if you do just go to the supermarket or even the pharmacy sometimes and pick up low quality supplements, they're not great ingredients, they're not well absorbed, they're not very effective, so it's actually a waste of money anyway, and you're not going to see the results, and then you're going to believe that it doesn't actually work for you. So we're talking about high quality, easily absorbable supplements that are actually going to make a difference. So I've put all of the brands, all of the dosages. You may want to take it step by step, so I've put the order in there as well, so that's fantastic. I've spoken about what foods to avoid, like we just had a quick look at that. So some of the dairy and the gluten and the sugar and the alcohol and the caffeine, they're the main things that are really going to be keeping you stuck. And it doesn't mean that you have to go really strict and you have to cut it all out, but it might be, maybe you drink every single night of the week at the moment, and you could start going 2 nights a week where you're not going to drink, just these baby steps, and we want to build upon that. And then all of the foods are going to be supportive for the mind, for the body, for the gut health, which is just going to have such an effect on your anxiety, a positive effect, or on the symptoms. And I've put a whole menu plan in there as well. So rather than just talking about these are the foods to include and these are the ones to avoid, it's like, here's a menu plan, here's what you can have for breakfast, here's what you can have for lunch, here's what you can have for dinner. And again, you don't have to do it all in one go. Sometimes people like to jump in and go, I'm going to follow the whole menu plan, but it might be, right, this week I'm going to try 2 breakfasts, and next week I'm going to try 2 lunch, and you slowly weave it into your life without it being too dramatic. But you're going to start to see these changes, these the reduction in symptoms, and you're going to want to continue. Plus, like Sarah said, it's all delicious because it's got to be, because food should be a celebration, food should be something that we're enjoying.
And Hannah puts it together so beautifully as well, because we've got workbooks and meal plans and food photography is a whole thing, isn't it, on Instagram? It's nice to print these off and put them on your wall or on your fridge. So yeah, it's all done in a really enjoyable way. But the reason we want to speak about it now, we feel it's a really urgent thing we need to speak about more and more, because the world is reopening, isn't it? And we have been chatting to the members in our holistic health circle, and everyone's feeling differently. Some people cannot wait to go and book their table and to have a party and to go on holiday. But there's a lot of people that were expecting to feel excited that aren't, okay? So the world is reopening. We don't know how, you don't know how you're going to react once you're out there. And anxiety can feed anxiety. So if you're around people that are, you know, not feeling their best and they're talking about it, and then that's getting you feeling, you know, stuck in this loop of worrying as well, or planting seeds in your mind that you were thinking, well, I wasn't worried about that before, but I might be now. You're going to have these tools at hand, and you can ground yourself instantly. You can calm and soothe yourself, and you can decide basically, you know, how you want to respond to this rather than it being reactive. So it's, again, just putting you in the driving seat, which, you know, we've had a really turbulent year, all of us, no matter what stage of the anxiety journey we're on or wherever at in life. And we need more tools in our toolkit more than ever. And we need them to be as natural and as effective as we possibly can. So we've put this together, we're launching it now, and we're doing it at a reduced cost because we want you to use it. We want it there for you. We want it accessible. We want it to be out in the world for you all to have at hand. And it's something you can come back and visit. You can do it immediately, and then you might want to come back and revisit it. So yeah, that's our offering. We've got the Anxiety Freedom Roadmap course. Was there anything you wanted to add?
Yeah, I was just going to say, you said that you can access it again. So it's all hosted kind of in a membership site that you log into, which means you haven't got to download it all and store it, like you haven't got to print it off if you don't want to. You haven't got to find a place to store it on your computer. I'm saying that because I keep filling up my computer. It's all on a membership site that you can log into at any point. So you might do it now and be using those tools. And then, you know, 6 months or a year's time, you might want to jump back in again. You might want to watch the yoga every night, and you can just log in and do that. But it's all there for you, to print or not to print. And like Sarah said, it's half price just for this week only, and that is, so it's a no-brainer for you, so you can say yes to you. I've actually sent out an email today, so for those of you that haven't got the email, I said if your income wasn't affected in lockdown, then there may have been lots of ways that you were saving money. So I definitely saved money on petrol because I wasn't driving anywhere, and kids clubs and eating out and holidays, and we might not even be going away this year either because the UK seems like it's full for UK holidays. So use some of that money if you have been able to save in the last year because of all those reasons I've just mentioned. That really seriously consider investing in your health, whether that is with us on this course or, you know, in some other way, health food shop, you know, supplements, whatever it is for you. Yoga classes. Do invest in your health because there's nothing that is more important. If you haven't got your health, you can't go to work, you know, you can't enjoy life, you can't enjoy your time with your family, your friends, your children. And so I can say this from personal experience, and I know Sarah can agree with me. We've invested an awful lot of money in our health over the past 10 years, and really our life is looking quite different today to what it was before when we did have anxiety symptoms. And for me, also fatigue, exhaustion, pain, back pain, lots of different symptoms going on, which are all so much better. And it doesn't mean you're never going to have them again. But like Sarah said, for example, if the anxiety creeps in, you're like, hold on a minute, I've got that tool that I used 25 times and now it feels natural, so I can just remember to do it in that moment and take control of the situation again without spiraling out of control. So yeah, that's what I wanted to add, that it's all beautifully kept in this membership site for you, and we think that you really, really will get a lot of value out of this membership. So thank you so much for joining us today. It's been really great hanging out with you as always. Hello to all our members in the Fight Fatigue Facebook group. If you're not a member already, you're watching this on in another place, make sure that you get over there. We're quite a strong crowd of thousands and thousands of us now who are all looking to heal our health naturally. And Sarah and I do cooking classes in there. Sarah does the breathing break, a 15-minute free breath work every Friday. We come on and do this every Wednesday wellness, talk about different subjects. So yeah, it's a cool place to hang out.
Tag your friends. If anyone can benefit from any information here, please tag us, tag them, like this, share this. Even if you think, you know, the yoga is not necessary for me, but there might be some really useful nutrition advice or whatever it is. So yeah, please share the love. Please think of somebody that might be struggling a little bit, or maybe not even look like they're struggling, because anxiety, there's a lot of high functioning anxiety sufferers out there. So they can often be overachievers. So even if they're not saying anything or showing visible signs, just tag someone you love, because you never know the impact you're going to have on them.
Oh, that's lovely. Thank you so much, Sarah, for adding that at the end. Well, lovely to see you. Lots of love to you all. Thank you for joining us today. Have a wonderful day, and hopefully see you inside the Anxiety Roadmap. See you soon.
On Wednesday. Bye.
Bye.